Sephora VIB sale. Woo, we've got a lot of sales lately, do we not? Hello my friends and welcome back to the rabbit hole. Today's video is going to be in celebration of the Sephora VIB sale. I always try to do something a little bit different for these videos, so I thought for today's video I would go ahead and share with you my top 12 products at Sephora. I was aiming for 10, but nobody's perfect, you know. So anyway, what I wanted to do is just kind of have a simple video today. I don't want to overwhelm you, I just want to narrow down what are my absolute favorite products that Sephora carries. And for funsies, I'll talk about my own wish list as well. So I'll go ahead and put the details of the sale in the description box below, as well as timestamps and links to these products. We have 3 categories for today's video. We have, of course, skincare. I'm throwing in a little bit of makeup and even some hair care today, I know. Let's start with my wish list. It's really short. I'm not actually going to buy a lot in either the Sephora VIB sale or the Ulta sale because I dropped $400 in the Be Glowing sale. How do you resist though? It's 40% off and I've been wanting to try the SK2 essence. I bought some Hum Nutrition, some Sol de Janeiro, and I bought, finally, the Dr. Dennis Gross Spectralite Body. I love my LED mask so much. I'll link you the video if you're interested. It's the Cure one, not the Dr. Dennis Gross, but actually a little bit less expensive. Same general concept as the Dr. Dennis Gross Spectralite. I love it so much. I've been using it for, gosh, about a year. I need to do a 1-year update. Yeah, honestly, if you're wanting to buy some kind of really expensive skincare products, personally, I would recommend you an LED device over La Mer moisturizer or something. There's a lot of research into LED. It will take some time to see results from red light, but if you're buying it for blue light, you actually see those results pretty quickly. So anyway, I wanted to buy it because I want to see what LED will do for my chest and neck area. But $400 is a lot of money for me. I know that YouTube is tricky. You can watch a channel like mine and think, you know, she has so much skincare, she must be really rich, but it's just a part of the story. I mean, my shirt is from Yes Style. My my food is Winn-Dixie brand. You know, we cut corners somewhere. Check soda. Okay, so let's talk about my Sephora sale wish list. I have on this the Glow Recipe Plum Plump Hyaluronic Acid Moisturizer, but the reality is I don't want to buy the full size. I'm waiting for Glow Recipe to come out with the travel size. It's so hard to justify the full size when I have so much moisturizer. You all saw my video Monday talking about that huge 6.76 fluid ounce moisturizer. It's just really hard to commit to full sizes, and yet I want to try it. So I'm probably still gonna wait for the mini size or travel size to come out. Oh, I want to try it so badly. The Fresh Kombucha, which I'm going to talk about, that'll be a repurchase for me. The Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Foundation. I really want to try this, but I'm not sure it will work for me. I do have some olive in my skin, and it seems their olive tones don't start in the light range, but it's got the word yummy in it. It sounds delicious. More of the Merit Signature Lip, which I'll also talk about. I'm giving you recommendations of some of the things I'm buying. And then I have on here also the K18 Leave-In Molecular Repair Hair Mask. This is another one that I'm not sure of because I heard you have to use it without conditioner, and I don't know if I can do that. Oh, y'all, sometimes my partner, she gets out of the shower and she goes, oh, I forgot to use conditioner. I cannot wrap my brain around that for a moment. If I was to forget conditioner, which I won't, but if I was to, my hair would feel like a broom. It would feel like a broom. Can you imagine how much this hair has been through? In case you're new to this channel, I did used to work as a hair model, so it has seen a lot. You all know I did that while I was still doing research as well, because you know, you can have any hair you want in a lab. But anyway, feel free to give me your thoughts on anything I talked about. You all give me such good advice, so please feel free if you happen to know how those products are. But let's go ahead and get into today's recommendations. I'm going to start out with skincare, but you can, of course, feel free to use the timestamps below and jump to whatever interests you and skip whatever doesn't. So let's start with the product that I said I'm repurchasing, the, of course, Fresh Kombucha Cleansing Treatment. I apologize in advance if you're watching this as a longtime subscriber and you can guess at everything I'm going to recommend. But yeah, my recommendations don't actually change that much. The thing that's so amazing about this fresh kombucha cleansing treatment is that it's a product that I just felt like this needed to exist for such a long period of time. When this came out, I fell in love with it. So you all have probably heard kind of a controversial perspective on cleansing your face. Some people say don't cleanse in the morning, just skip it. And other people say you absolutely have to wash twice a day. I tend to think it's very personal. I don't like telling people, I don't like making videos that are like 10 things you're doing wrong, because I really think if something works for you, good. It's working for you, that simple. For me, because I wear a lot of occlusive skincare products to bed, I felt like I needed to do something in the morning. And for years, I used micellar water and it went really well. A lot of people are very hesitant about micellar water because you're leaving surfactants on your skin. So Fresh finally came out with that concept that doesn't use surfactants, instead it's using saponins. And if you're somebody who likes the Fresh kombucha essence, you actually get more product in here for less money. It's 6.7 fluid ounces. The only catch is this is a plastic bottle and not glass, but that's part of what keeps the price low. So this is it's absolutely one of my top 10 must-have products for myself personally. I don't know if every person needs to get this. I mean, if you have oily skin, you may actually do well with cleansing twice a day, and I still do on some mornings. I would say I do this about 4 or 5 times a week. But yeah, for me, it's an absolute favorite, And it does last me a surprisingly long amount of time. I just put some on a cotton round, wash my face really quickly with it, and I'm good to go. Because I'm talking about long-running favorites here, let's also talk once again about the Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Extra Strength Daily Peel. Listen, if you have been watching my Ulta videos and you have seen me say on repeat that I have to be cautious with chemical exfoliating ingredients, especially glycolic acid, it may shock you that I am pulling out a chemical exfoliating product, and yet it is one of my absolute favorite products of all time. Somehow, Dr. Dennis Gross, in spite of this one even being called the extra strength version, somehow this works wonders for me. In my most recent empties video, I noticed that I had slacked on using these, and I reincorporated them again, and once again, I find myself saying, no, every time I use these, my skin looks better. It looks much clearer, it looks much smoother, it looks much healthier, glowier. It's such a good product. Now, if you are very sensitive, do know that there is several versions of this actually. There's a sensitive version, and I think there's a regular version as well. But yeah, there's something really special about this. It is a very pricey product, and I will also give you a heads up that this upcoming Sephora sale is not my favorite time to buy this, because there's always some kind of a holiday set around the November VIB sale. So you may want to wait for that. I try to stock up in advance. But yeah, when it comes to chemical exfoliators, this is my favorite, especially for acne-prone skin. If you do have dry skin, signs of aging without acne, you may want to try either Good Genes or the Peach and Lily Lactic Acid Peel. One more thing that is of no surprise to anybody, the Statuesque Overnight Vitalizing Mask. I may actually buy this in this sale myself. I'm thinking about it. So I have a small version right here, small size right here. These used to be maybe $6 on the YesStyle website, but I noticed they've gone up to $12. Which now means there's not a lot of difference between buying these small ones and buying the size that Sephora offers. In fact, the YesStyle website actually has a higher price right now for the full size than Sephora. I cannot believe this has happened. I am basically in denial. I'm in denial about this. You could always go on the YesStyle website for lower prices. Wow, what is going on? Anyway, I adore Statuesque. This is my favorite product because, first of all, it's one that I can actually afford. A lot of their products are in that $300 range, and while they're really nice, this one is $54. And hey, you know what? The price actually hasn't increased while everything else has, so That was close. And even though this one looks like a at least mid-range product in terms of price, it is a gigantic container. It is 4 ounces of product, and it feels mostly like a moisturizer. It's not something you wash off. It's just a very hydrating product that has a hanbang scent to it. So I actually talked myself out of including any kind of fragrance recommendations because I feel like fragrance is so personal. I feel like my nose is limited. But anyway, to try to describe the smell, it smells very herbal to me. So it does have a scent. It, you know, it won't work for everybody, but it seems a lot of people do really well with this. And yeah, it just makes your skin look so healthy, glowing, vibrant. Again, the whole brand is wonderful. I'm not really somebody who gets into luxury skincare because I drink Czech sodas, but Suasu is basically my one exception. If you're gonna buy luxury, Suasu. Look, something different, kind of. So I did want to bring up the Glow Recipe Guava Vitamin C Dark Spot Serum, but before I do this, I want to say really quickly, if you are curious about Glow Recipe, you haven't tried the brand, but you've noticed how much hype there is, I want to once again summarize it for you. Glow Recipe is a brand where their products do what they claim, but so do a lot of other skincare products on the market. Why is there so much hype around this brand? A tremendous factor in that is how absolutely adorable everything is. So if you're somebody who, you know, while using a product that looks like this, if you're going to be getting ready, you know, doing your skincare routine, just going, oh, it's so wonderful, I love the packaging, it's so cute, it brings me joy, you'll probably like Glow Recipe. If you're somebody who just absolutely does not care about packaging, it's very possible you could try out these hype products and say, I don't get it. It's like another vitamin C serum. What's the hype? The hype is that it works and it's cute. It's usually been, you know, it either works or it's cute. I feel like that's always the division up until Glow Recipe came into the market. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the Guava Vitamin C Dark Spot Serum. I have really enjoyed this product. Again, I don't think it's necessarily better than something like the Geek and Gorgeous Sea Glow. However, it's a good alternative. It doesn't use your standard ascorbic acid. Instead, it's those vitamin C derivatives. So if you're somebody who's sensitive to vitamin C, you may do well with this serum. And it also does include some tranexamic acid. And again, it's adorable. It's adorable. I have videos for just about everything I'm talking about today, so I will not have enough cards to put them up in the corner, but I'll include them in the description box if you're interested. Okay, let me talk about the Alpenbeauty Triple C Brightening Bounce Cream next. So I love Alpenbeauty. I feel like this brand, I just love what they're doing. They actually, if you saw my video about the brand, they get sustainability right. These are products that are all made in the USA. They are packaged in glass. They are using fresh ingredients harvested from their own location in Wyoming. And what really stands out to me about the brand is the textures. I wanted to grab one of their moisturizers, even though I kind of went back and forth. Their eye cream also has a gorgeous texture. But I wanted to grab the moisturizers because I still sometimes see some amount of people say, I've tried all these moisturizers and I don't like any of them. I don't like how they feel on my skin. I don't like applying them. I think it's very worth it for you to try this brand because their moisturizers feel so different. There really is a kind of bounciness to the texture. It absorbs really well into your skin, so it doesn't really feel too heavy on your skin, and yet it does feel moisturizing and hydrating through the day. So it's an incredible texture and formula that they have in their products, and again, I love what the brand is doing. Now, you know I have to include a sunscreen recommendation, right? You may also know I am sensitive to a lot of US chemical filters. So I am going to tell you I spent a lot of time deciding on this one because you may have seen we recently did a review of the Tatcha Silk sunscreen, which is a very, very good sunscreen. But in making a recommendation, I want to make sure I'm thinking about everyone. And that's the thing, this $60 for 1.7 fluid ounce sunscreen, I don't think it's the best option for everybody. If you're on a tight budget, are you really going to apply the correct amount of this? Even if you get it for $48, it's still very expensive. So I've gone back to the Dr. Dennis Gross Lightweight Wrinkle Defense as my recommendation, even though in all truth I do like the application of the Tatcha more. I think this one has a more fair price point. It is still $42. So it's still expensive, and that's the problem with mineral filters and why, my goodness, if you can wear chemical filters, I'm telling you, go for it. Mineral filters are difficult, but this is such a beautiful mineral sunscreen. It is an SPF of 30, so it's a little lower. They do have an SPF of 50, but I haven't tried it. SPF 30 is a good level for this indoor cat here. It works well under makeup, and I think another nice thing about it is it's really easy to carry this one around for reapplication. This one, I keep this one standing up over in my vanity area. I've seen quite a few reviews come in saying they've had issues with the packaging, so it might not travel that well. So again, those are the reasons why I'm going back to this one. It really is a beautiful, no white cast mineral sunscreen that also works nicely under makeup. So I don't have a ton of makeup recommendations. I narrowed it down to a few of my most beloved current favorites, and you know I'm going to pull out this Kosas Revealer Foundation, right? You know it, but I also have an update for you. It is a huge update. It is something I wanted to say in my comparison video I did of this in the Ilia. I wasn't sure if I should give that advice, so I wanted to make sure to contact the brand and try it out myself before I did it. Anyway, what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks is keeping this in my refrigerator. Because as I mentioned, I was a little worried about the preservative system that Kosas uses. It's maybe seems to be not the strongest preservative system that I've ever seen. So that coupled with the fact that it does have an odd smell to it, putting this in your refrigerator may be a fantastic solution. So in a colder environment, bacteria can't flourish to the same extent it can in a warmer environment, and also your refrigerator cuts down on smells. But yeah, I had to try it out. I had to make sure it was still the same consistency. Kosas actually did get back to me very quickly. In fact, they said it's totally fine to keep it in a refrigerator, so that's what I'm going to be doing with this. In saying that, that may be too much for some people. There may be some people sitting here watching this going, I don't want to have to refrigerate my foundation, and that's totally fine. Definitely a heads up for you there. But it is absolutely gorgeous on my skin. It is such a flattering, more medium coverage foundation, I would say, light to medium. And I personally do prefer a little bit more coverage as opposed to the sheer and light coverage finishes. Then the Caloray, which I also cannot stop talking about. This is the Glazed and Infused Plumping Glassy Lip Trip. The deal is I'm actually pretty picky with lip glosses. I don't like that, you know, so many of them make your lips look nice while you're wearing them, but they feel drying. They don't feel like they're nourishing your lips the same way a lip balm does. The reason why I love this lip gloss so much is that it does feel extremely nourishing. I feel like it's the best combination of lip balm and lip gloss that I've ever seen. Now, this does come with the con. It doesn't stay on your lips as long. Just like a lip balm also doesn't stay on your lips as long. And then they also say it's plumping, but it's a product where you're not going to see immediate plumping. You have to stick with it. I think the more times you apply it throughout the day, the faster you will see that plumping effect. And one more thing, a lot of people have criticized the size of this because it appears to be quite small. Here it is up against the Huda Silk Balm. The reality is this is 0.25 fluid ounces. This is 0.10. So do not let packaging deceive you. This is actually a lot of product in a small tube. From my own wish list, more of the Merit Signature lipsticks. So they gifted me Baby and Millennial. I've talked about these already. I can't stop talking about them, actually. They're such gorgeous lipsticks. The thing is, they are, again, that comfortable formula. If you haven't gathered by now, I like comfortable lip products. They're comfortable, they're flattering on your lips, which a lot of other lipsticks, you know, as you get a little bit older, as you start to get some lip lines, I feel like lip products can be hit or miss. You know, I'm over liquid lipsticks for that exact reason. Whereas these look flattering on, they are in such beautiful packaging. I feel like sometimes you buy a lipstick and you're, you know, just a little bit disappointed that the packaging looked more luxurious online. You know what I'm talking about? These are weighted, they're really lovely, and one thing I will say about this shades. They run a little bit more neutral, in my opinion, than they look online. So yeah, know that. The one that I want to get though, I saw someone say on Reddit that Lavenue I'm sorry, I put a little bit of a southern accent on everything. I cannot help it. I actually really try not to, but alas, I can't help it. You heard me? I saw them say that that shade is very similar to Clinique's Black Honey, which I do like, but I've always felt like I want Black Honey, ironically, to have a little bit more pigment to it, so I'm hoping that's exactly what the Merit lipstick gives me. And my final makeup product is actually kind of two. So Patrick Ta. I have come to conclude that Mr. Patrick Ta and I must think similarly about blush and bronzer. See, I was so late to the game with buying the blushes. This is the one I'm wearing, She's Vibrant. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. It's so pigmented. You need such a tiny amount of this to just have such a maximum impact on your face. I feel that when I wear the cream blush over the powder, as they want you to do, I don't feel the need to wear highlighter. I have not worn highlighter in so long, and can you even tell I'm not wearing highlighter? I feel like it looks like I am. I think that's because the creaminess reflects light on your cheekbones, and so it's just an all-in-one product for me where I don't need highlighter, and yet I have this gorgeous, oh, it's such a pretty, such a beautiful blush. Everyone was right. I can't believe I was so late to the game. But the funny thing is, I had actually bought and loved the bronzer. I bought She's Statuesque and I loved it. And it turns out a lot of people don't love these, which I get because it's very, very light. So although his blushes are mega pigment, his bronzer is barely there. But that's what I like. That's what I like. I feel like if I'm gonna wear a bold blush, wearing bold bronzer with it, especially on my very pale skin, is just too much. It's just too much. Whereas I am wearing both of these today, and I feel like you wouldn't look at me and say, oh, she's wearing bronzer or she's wearing too much bronzer. It's a very good option for people who are on the fence about bronzer. If you don't really like bronzer, you might want to try Patrick Ta's bronzers. I can't believe I'm including hair products in today's video, but I am, because I have two that I've just got to share with you. So first up, the Briogeo Scalp Revival Charcoal and Biotin Dry Shampoo. Hear me out. I have had a long-running favorite in the Living Proof Dry Shampoo. However, earlier this year, when you remember all the benzene appearing in all kinds of products, especially aerosols, that finally affected me. I had two dry shampoos that both were impacted by that contamination. And that's when I started thinking, you know what? It's happening too much. I want to avoid aerosols. And dry shampoo is usually in an aerosol form. But I knew that there were other companies that have these non-aerosol forms of dry shampoo, and I need dry shampoo. It's not even that I like dry shampoo, it's that I need it. It's the most bizarre thing. It's actually something that is really hard for me to admit to myself. But for as much as I tell you about my skin is very dry. I have an oily scalp. I have an oily scalp. It took me years to ever sit here and tell you that because it's so hard for me to wrap my brain around. But the reality is, if I wash my hair in the morning and don't use dry shampoo, by night, you will think it's been a week since I washed my hair. It is so oily. It's like all of the oil production that should have happened on my entire body. I think it's just all isolated to my scalp. That's the only thing that makes sense. But anyway, I knew these existed. I was hesitant to try them. Briogeo actually let me pick some products, and this was one that I wanted to try. So they did gift me this. When I first tried it, I kind of laughed, honestly, because what it is you twist it open, and then you just kind of poof it all over. I have a video I'll show you. It just poofs all over. The first time I went to use it, I did not understand how to use this. I will tell you there was a major learning curve for me. When I finally got this down, I fell in love. I bought more because I don't want to run out. And yet, I feel like they both have the same amount of weight to them. I think this is gonna last me so much longer than my aerosols used to last. Oh yeah, and most importantly, it does work, and it works well, and it doesn't feel clunky in my hair, for lack of a better description. It works. But anyway, that's it. That's the end of my video. As is always the case, y'all can feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you are picking up in the Sephora sale. Do you think you're going to buy a lot, a little? And again, I'll have links to everything I talked about in the description box below if you would like to help support this channel. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy today's video, and I will see you all next time.